What's up, everybody? Figured I'd go live today. Man, that's right behind me. But yeah, I ain't went live. It's been a minute. Just gonna see if I can get some people on here. If some of my subscribers not at work, I work nights, so while y'all at work, I'm at home. While y'all at home in bed asleep, I'm at work. Eating a good old cupcake from last night. I'm gonna see if I get some people on here while I start talking too much. Waiting on this thunderstorm. No, not thunderstorm, snowstorm. It's supposed to be real big. I already even got a call from the school talking about they letting the kids out an hour earlier. My grandson's school got canceled because they anticipating the snow. You know, in Minnesota, they call it Minnesota. We get dumped on a lot. There's supposed to be a lot of snow getting dumped this weekend. So if you're in Minnesota, watch my video. I talk about getting your hustle on, shoveling the snow. I'll tell you about it in my video. Go through my which one was it? Hold on, let me see. I got it in the playlist too. I got it in Self-Made Saturdays. Self-Made Saturdays. Check it out. It's the video on getting your hustle on. You know, everybody want to be a boss. Well, everybody don't want to be a boss, but a lot of people want to be a boss. And you know, successful convicts, that's what this channel is about, bossing up, being a successful person that's been convicted of a crime before. And not letting your past dictate your present or your future. Because a lot of times, you know, you get charged of a crime, and it's like throughout life you get charged over and over and over for the same crime, and that's crazy. What's up, Justin? Thumbs up to you too, buddy. It's crazy because a lot of people don't know unless they either have a person that go through it or they go through it themselves. And it's sad because it's really like double and triple and quadruple jeopardy. Because I'm gonna tell you how the feds do it. Now, this is how the feds do it. This is how crucial it is. People don't understand this, and they, you know, a lot of times you look at people and you say, "Oh, they got a record. Oh, they're a bad person. Oh, they've been in prison. Yada yada yada." Well, I don't know. Well, I know everybody don't know because if everybody knew, they'd probably do something about it. But in the federal system, what they do is when you catch your case, okay, first time offender, of course, you're going to go through the process. Say it's your second time. Let's say the crime that you're doing or if you've done or been charged with, found guilty of, carries 10 years. Okay, now you're looking at 10 years. Okay, that's the same federal, state. You're looking at whatever time you're looking at. But how the feds do it, I'm not too sure about the state. I only caught that Fed case. But if you got any criminal history, like say you've been to the joint for, I don't know, auto theft, then you get a certain amount of points on the present case. So you get a certain amount of points from your previous history. They call them criminal history points. That's what they are, criminal history points. Okay, big deal, right? Well, points are equivalent to years. Points is time. So, like, for instance, on my case, me and my co-defendant, this was my first case. This was his third case. We on the same case. We getting caught with the same amount. We get charged with the same thing. They got categories, and it's actually rows. On the left side of the rows going down is the time. Or is it it's the points. It's numbers. I gotta research that. I'm a little rusty on that. But on the left side is numbers, and at the top is numbers. And then in each column is a number. So it's like if you're in category one, oh, that's what it is. Categories at the top, levels on the side. So if you're in category one, level one, you right here. But say you at category six, level one, you right here. But if you're at category, you could be at a category one. I mean, a level six, category 15. I mean, basically the chart goes like this. So, like for instance, first case, small amount of time. You're looking at small time. But let's say it's your first case and you're looking at a lot of time. Let's say it's your first case and you're looking at 10 years. But another person, it's his fifth case and he's looking at 2 years. Because his criminal history points, he's gonna be at the same spot as you. He's gonna be in that same little category. He's gonna be looking at the same amount of time as you just because of criminal history. And that's messed up. But that's how the government works. But you know what? In all fairness, not really fair, but it's kind of like a level playing field where it gives you a chance. When I first got down, this dude named Danger out of New York, he told me, man, my stepfather told me, because, the crack law. He said, my stepfather told me the only way the crack laws would have been bogus is if they didn't write them down. Who's outside studying law? Who's really out here in the streets doing crime, studying the law? See, I used to see that in the old mob movies and the mafia movies. The mob used to study the law and they would know what they would do and they would know what they wouldn't do because of the time that would come after it. So, that's being a real criminal. That's being a criminologist when you study the time for the crime. A lot of people don't do that. See, that's how you jump through the loopholes and stuff like that because people know what they're getting into. And that's why the game is so messed up because a lot of people jumping into stuff and they don't know what they're getting into. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, if a lot more people start looking at what they was getting into, I think a lot of people wouldn't even get into it. Which is why I didn't even know that many prison channels on YouTube. Like I said before, when I started my channel, I just had the idea of showing people because when I got out, I got a job, been working. And since I've been working, sometimes times be good, sometimes times be hard. But at the same time, when you think back, like, man, it's much better a free man than being in jail talking about what you had, what you used to do, and all this type of stuff. So I got to looking at the people that I knew that I was locked up with. I think like 3 of them own barbershops. One drives Uber and does other little odd jobs. One homeboy, I got to get him in for an interview too. He started out with a cleaning service. He went from a cleaning service to, because his first job was a personal trainer. So he went from a personal trainer, the gym closed down. Then I guess he was figuring out what he was going to do. He was trying to, personal train, on his own, catch a couple clients. Started a cleaning service. Cleaning service took off. Then he started his own gym. Gym kind of took off. And now he doing this paint and sip. And that's took off. That's like the new in thing now. You get the room, they serve wine, and they got the little boards that they paint, and people come in, they sip wine, they listen to music, and they paint. So he got 3 businesses. So it got me to thinking. God knows some people, they just write. And I wrote a book when I was in there too. I have to put the link in my description to where you can go buy it. It's actually an anthology, and it's just one short story out of 5. And it was in a book called Wahida Clark Presents. Let me see if I can type on this screen. Can I type on the screen? I don't know how. But anyway, it was a book called Wahida Clark. Oh, yeah, I can't type right here. I'm going to type it in. Wahida Clark Presents. And then it's What's Really Good. And that was a book. Wahida Clark's Was Really Hood. And it was, like I said, it was 5 short stories. At the time when I first started writing this book, not a book, it was a short story. Everybody knew I used to write because, when I first went in, I knew this female, this woman, and she wanted to be a writer. She used to write. So by her telling me she wanted to write, and she was getting stuck. So, she wasn't so much like that, but a lot of times people think because you're in prison, you're just sitting there like this, like, I ain't got nothing to do for the next 10 years. That's not true. Prison life is actually action-packed, and you can get real busy in there, like with writing and programming and working out, and people being to the church, the mosque, the temple, whatever. You get to doing volunteer stuff. You get the not to mention your prison job. It's a lot to do. I mean, you can go in there and do a lot of idle time. You can go in there and do a lot of constructive stuff too. So anyway, long story short, she got stuck. She was writing something. She got stuck. She asked for my help. I came up with a scenario, a little story. I wrote, and I'm a writer. I'm big on writing anyway. I think I wrote 12 pages. I wrote 12 pages, sent it to her. She was, oh my God, this is good. You should finish. And I'm like, no, I just wrote that for you to start. No. This is good. You finish. So, okay. I kept writing on it every now and then. I'll write on it. So I wound up meeting this guy from New York because I was in Duluth FEC, federal prison camp in Duluth, Minnesota. Ooh, you think Minneapolis is cold. Duluth is like cold. And then not to get off subject, but it's a city up near Duluth called Embarrass, Minnesota. It's one of the coldest cities, I know in the United States, but I think in the world. It's like, it gets really cold. It was so cold in Duluth, what we used to do, we'd be watching TV in the TV room. Commercial come on, you can go take a can pop, put it in a bag, hang it out the window. Go back, watch your show. By the time the next commercial came on, you go get your pop, it's like a slushy. I swear to God, right hand to God. That's how cold it was. So anyway, so they brought a lot of East Coast dudes to Minnesota, New York, New Jersey, which was great because I wound up meeting a lot of people that I still keep in contact with. And that's one of the pluses of being in a federal institution, is that you get to meet people from all over the world because the feds send people all over the world. So I meet this dude, his name was Joe Black, real big baller from out of the Bronx, New York. He was a ball on the streets, and he was known for his basketball. You know what I'm saying? The dude was plugged, you know, the city knew him. Like, I remember one time he came from the phone. Me and him, we worked in the kitchen together, and he had a book out. He had a book that he had out, you know. So people was like, "Oh man, dude," you know, because I had let a few other people read, because when she gassed my head up, talking about it was so good, I had let a few other people read it, and people was like, "Yeah, man, it's good, man. Keep going, keep going." So anyway, so I let him read it. We was talking about the book one time in the kitchen. I let him read it. He like, "Man, this is good, man. You should finish it." So I'm like, "Man, you think so?" So he like, "Man, I'm telling you, man, you should finish it." Now, being that he had a book out, which it really don't take much to have a book out. You can self-publish. He had a book out. I took his advice to heart. So he was telling me, "Man, you ain't gonna finish it. You ain't gonna finish it." I'm like, "Yes, I am." I wound up finishing it. And then I just started getting into the writing community, because there's a lot of people in the joints that write. So now every time somebody come on a compound and write, they, "Oh man, you need to meet him," you know. So we all, like, all the writers hung together. Well, not hung together, but we was all in tune with each other, and you know, we read each other's work, and you know, give each other thumbs up or tips and stuff like that. So anyway, this dude come to me, tell me about this short story contest that this lady, I wasn't even really too much in tune with her, Wahida Clark, which she's the queen of uh thug passion, thug literature. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, she's real big. So anyway, she's having this contest, you know, this short story. You know, if your story get chosen, it's gonna go on her book. It's gonna be an anthology. It's gonna be 5 other authors and stuff like that, or 4 or 5 other authors. But anyway, so I literally, and the deadline was in like 2 weeks. I literally, in the kitchen with typing paper and, you know, free pens, I literally wrote up a story within 2 weeks, just off the top of my head, submitted it. She liked it. Boom. Okay. So I'm like, damn. So, okay. So start writing. Now, mind you, she was in the women's prison. She was, matter of fact, she was locked up with Martha Stewart in Virginia, I believe. It was some women's joint, some women's fair joint in Virginia, I believe. So anyway, so when I would write my revisions, I sent it to her people. Her people would send it to her. She'd chop it up. She sent it back to her people. Her people sent it to me. So we did this. You got to think, this was in 2007. The book didn't come out to 2010. So I noticed a lot of similarities too with the music, because a lot of times people have an album, they might, like, say for instance, they might finish an album today, January 2020. That album might not come out to 2021, 2022, maybe 2023. And people be listening to it and be like, "Oh man, this, that." It don't always happen like that. It's a lot of politics and a lot of waiting. And like I said, she was in the joint. So it was a 3-way. You know what I'm saying? It was send it here, then they'll send it to her, then she'll send it back. Then so we just kept going right back, right back. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Justin. I appreciate that. Yeah. And everybody in that book, all the stories, all the people in them books was locked up. Either was locked up or had been locked up. Like the one guy, Quan is out. I don't know. Was Quan in the book? No, he was at the book signing. But anyway, everybody was locked up at one point in time, if they not still locked up. But yeah, and you can get the book on Amazon. You can get it at your public library. I've seen her books also at Walmart. So yeah, so wound up writing a book and got paid $300, which people don't understand. $300 is a lot of money when you're in the joint that you can make on your own. You don't have to ask nobody for. So yeah, so when the final editing was done, I got like 150. Then, like I said, years later when the book was gonna come out, I got the other 150. I was on the street then, but I wasn't really doing it for the money, so to speak. I was doing it more to get out there as a writer, which I actually had got. a 2 book deal. I don't know if she is still on it. I still keep in contact with her too. She's a cool person. And yeah, I'm pretty sure once I get back into writing, which that's on my to-do list for 2020, to get back into writing. I actually have started back writing. I got a couple books that I'm writing a little piece here, and then I'll write a little piece on this one. But anyway, yeah, then I got out. I went to the book signing, which was in New York. That was my one time going to New York, which was cool. And like I said, having had that interaction with the New York guys when I was in prison, I actually stayed with one of those guys who I still keep in contact with. And I stayed with him in the Albany projects. Yeah, And I was like, man, yeah. Started getting a hotel room. I stay at the project, so I'm with my mans. You know what I'm saying? He says it's cool, then it's cool. You know what I mean? Same way. I mean, brothers are the same struggle. You know what I mean? We both came from the prison. We ain't come out to no mansions and all this money and stuff like that. So it was just cool just to kick it with him. You know what I mean? On some real stuff, not on no fake stuff. And he showed me around New York and stuff like that because I didn't know where I was going to the book signing. But it was cool. Like I said, I met Quan. He's a real big writer. He got a lot of books that's floating around the prison. Met Wahida Clark in person. She had got out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my man Joe Black, who's really killing it on the poker circuit. Congratulations to him. I see him on Instagram. He's killing them on. He's a professional poker player now. I always hit him up every now and then, like, man, when we gonna get back to the right? Because the dude had a lot of plugs. We were supposed to he was supposed to be on this writing team for this BET show that they had coming out. And he used to always tell me, man, if this go, man, I'm pulling you in, man, so you can be one of the writers with me. So I was like, cool. But yeah, he got out because he was into gambling too. That's real big in prison. He got out and he's a professional poker player. Like, I mean, he be having big bags too. And he got his own clothing line too. Uh Chip Bully. That's some poker talk, with the chips, being a bully with the chips. Chip Bully, clothing line. Look it up if you can. Uh, it's tight. He got some tight stuff too. But yeah, so long story short, to get back onto the subject, because I have a habit of drifting off. That's why I've been writing my stuff down on cue cards so I stay on topic. But going live, I didn't really write nothing down because it took me a while to even figure it out. But anyway, I was thinking I need to start my own business. I need to do my own thing. So that's why I'm trying to build this brand, Successful Convicts. And I got a lot of visions for the whole Successful Convict brand. T-shirts, jogging suits. Of course, we gotta rock the light gray jogging suits with the Successful Convict on them. You know what I mean? But the whole Successful Convict brand is just the fact of I'm always been the type that you can't just tell me no. You got to show me no. You know what I mean? You're not finna just tell me you can't do this because you're ex-con or you're ex-felon. You got to show me, and you got to really show me because I'm gonna keep coming. And if you slip, then I'm gonna just go. And I'm not on no wrong type of stuff because man, it's hard doing stuff that you trying to do right. Another pro to being federal compared to being state because a lot of your stuff as far as the feds go don't even get found because like when you go for housing, I was staying in these apartments and townhouses where you couldn't live if you had a felony. And I lived there. I lived in my apartment for like 3 years. And then I moved into the townhouses and I lived in there for like 3 years. So I was out there for about 6, 7 years. Ex-felon, but I tried to get a lot of other people in there, and they was like, "Man, I couldn't get in there." I was like, "I don't understand how I couldn't get in there. You got in there. Hey, don't worry about how I got in there. You just worry about that you can't get in there." But that comes from when let's say you fed, you get out, catch a state case, boom, now you're in the state system. You see what I'm saying? And when they do these different background checks, there's levels to these background checks. You go to get an apartment, they're gonna pay maybe $40 or $25 to $40 for a background check. It's just a little light background check to see if you got anything on you now. Sometimes when you go for a job, they do the little background check on you. They go a little deeper. They pay a little bit more. It's a little deeper search. Now, when you're going for like state jobs and city jobs and stuff like that, they gonna do that all around check. You know, that state to state, that federal like check, where if you got a federal felony or whatever, it's gonna come up. But it's levels to that background check. So you need to know that, because just because you got a background don't mean it's gonna get found. And you know, they even told us that, you know, don't say you got a background. Don't say, yeah, you know, say no, or say no, I'll explain it later or whatever. But sometimes that'd be a dead giveaway. You don't even get a chance to even say it later. But anyway, so that's why I started my channel, because I want to show people that you can make it out here. Because a lot of times, you know, the system is already set up for your failure, and you can't let that be your end. You know, just because this person tells you no, don't mean the next person not gonna tell you yeah. So if you take that no and just take it for what it is, you'll never hear the yeses, because you stopped at that one no. Did y'all know? I know it's only one person on here, but did y'all know that Formula 409 got his name because that was his 409th try in trying to formulate that formula for cleaner? Just imagine he'd have gave up at his 100th try. Just think, a lot of us, we ain't about to try nothing for 100 times and fail, let alone 409 times. So that's some persistence for your ass. So take that to heed when you think you want to give up. And not only that, man, you never know who's looking at you. When you give up, sometimes you make somebody else quit. You know, growing up, you know, we always been into the dogs and stuff like that, you know, pit bulls, and, you know, everybody get all freaked out about that with the Michael Vick and all that type of stuff. But hey, MMA is a sport, boxing is a sport, all kind of stuff is a sport. So anyway, the whole thing about that is you want that one dog that's not going to quit. The same way you want a friend that's not going to quit on you. Same way you want a spouse, a companion that's not going to quit loving you, not going to quit being there for you. Don't quit. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. The reason why quitters never win, because they quit before they can even win. The reason why winners never quit, because if they quit, they know they won't win. It's common sense, y'all. Keep it simple. Keep it real simple. You know, the KISS formula. Keep it simple, stupid. So yeah, I just wanted to rant. I want to start ranting a little bit more often. You know, start going live a little bit more often, maybe more on a scheduled time. You know, I just got off from work. So like I said, I have some time. I got to play around with it. I want to get more active into my channel. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Justin, just in case, like that. I had a coworker. I used to call him just in time, because it seemed like he'd make it just in time before being late. But just in case, I appreciate you, man, for sharing that. Also, I always got to give my man a shout out. Big Lance from the yard. You know, usually on my way home from work, because I get off at 8 in the morning, he doing his live broadcast. So I always listen to him. You know, I put the phone up on the dashboard. I listen to him and his motivational spiel, because he always got some type of motivational spiel he give. And it's crazy, because sometimes I listen to him and he be saying the same thing. I'll be like, damn, I was gonna make a video on that. Like, damn, I can't make a video on it now because it's gonna look like I just made it off his video. But at the same time, it don't be exactly the same. So I still wind up doing my spiel. But yeah, check out Big Lance from the yard. You know what I'm saying? Go to his page, show him some love, subscribe to his channel, check out his videos. I even put some of his videos in my playlist. Check out the playlist. I'm gonna put the playlist up here too. Check out the playlist, check out the videos, just play them and let them play back to back to back. Motivational stuff. I call it Successful Thoughts. That's the playlist. Check out the Successful Thoughts playlist. Subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Tune in when I go live. I'm going to start more posting when I'm gonna go live and try to be more consistent. And hopefully I can get some feedback from y'all, some topics y'all want to discuss. You know, also got on my Bot 83 channel. I said I got the Ask Bot 83. The relationship advice. I got to start tuning into that because people done ask me questions. Really, relationships is kind of like common sense, like life. But a lot of times when you going through it, you can't really grasp it. And they always say hindsight is 2020, meaning that when you look back, you can see everything clearly. For those of you who don't know what hindsight is 2020 mean, because in life you're gonna hear a lot of sayings, and you're gonna well, someday you might just be like, I've been saying that for years. What exactly do it mean? But anyway, that's my time. I don't want to bore y'all. It's 30 minutes in, and y'all have a good day, man, and continue to be successful.